looks so good.
In that world, you will have to be careful and smart and curious. But above all else, you will have to be human.
You're awake. Welcome to the world of the living.
Shut up.
We call it the goal. Capital G and all. To make 1,000 new humans, and so complete New Jerusalem.
So arbitrary.
That's the official story. The goal, as most people understand it, was fulfilled the moment you were born. Now New Jerusalem is complete, and we can live in balance, without
Just like
damaging
that.
the world like our ancestors did. That's the orthodox view, I suppose. But there are many who disagree. You'll have to figure out where you stand for yourself.
I think I'm good. I think I figured it out.
Like all citizens of New Jerusalem, you have access to the interface, which you can use to read the news, chat to your fellow citizens, and so on.
Yes.
It's a crucial tool, and modular too.
Welcome to more social media. So where the first game was kind of about thinking about what it means to be human, period. This game is gonna be a little bit more about what does it mean to be human and be a part of a society and its rules and its arbitrary rules. Oh, I'm excited for this.
To that end, she set the great goal we have been striving towards. 1,000 new humans. And today we have... Oh dear, what's that?
People of New Jerusalem,
Prometheus.
I am Prometheus. Who is brave enough to answer its call? We await you upon our island where... Curse you, Pandora. You will not chain me again.
What? What?
And I call you an idiot. Here's a thought.
Tell him, Byron.
Try to be a little more diplomatic when you talk to the mayor.
Why am I here?
See what I'm working with here, 1K?
Who cares what I think? I just
I'm gonna
got
need
here.
a fresh pair of eyes on this expedition. Someone who hasn't spent
Okay.
several centuries hearing about the goal and the founder and all that nonsense.
Okay, alright. Alright, nice to meet you, Josephus. Oh, Jesus, that's
What's
scary.
broken now?
So, yeah, shit's not as great as some are making it out to be, I take it. What's broken now, he says. Riddles and puzzles are the foundation of our journey. So it began, perhaps so it will continue. One can hope. That is what I am here for. Oh,
Hey,
my God.
hold on there. You're the newbie, aren't ya?
The jump scares in this
Number
game.
1,000.
Hello.
I'm sure this sort of adventure is the last thing you were looking for on your first day.
Au contraire.
All right, here we go. Nice to meet you, by the way, 1K.
Before you set out so hastily, do consider exploring the city first.
Alright, let's go explore a little bit and see what the heck we find. Must pet kitty. The cause of the phenomenon is more technologically advanced than we are. It couldn't possibly. I love how... That's really interesting. Like, is one of us trying to pull something over on everyone else?
My name is Cornelius. It's a pleasure to meet you, 1K.
You as well.
That's a difficult question. What could make the person who started all this want to leave it behind?
What happened to Milton in the end?
No one really knows.
Oh, great.
Some believe that he was uploaded
An ancient virus which threatens the entire human species has been released from the melting Arctic permafrost. Society is collapsing. Select your character class. Politician. Oh, suddenly the scientists recognize a pattern. The virus is an expression of nature, just like water or cows.
My research draws me inescapably to the conclusion that there is a concrete rule set for moral behavior. We just need to find it.
Okay.
Biological
Well, this is the spot where the founder buried her first cat, Milton. She found Milton just after she woke up, and he lived with her and the first companions for almost 20 years.
Oh my god.
They say she was heartbroken when...
We've solved it. This is why the founder is missing. We're trying to extend the life of cats. I was wondering why this was called Milton's Rest. It's because Milton was her cat. She named her cat Milton. Milton, when everything changed. You made sure I wasn't alone?
Next, you'll say, it's aliens.
I just prefer to keep an open mind.
It's an interesting thought just to think about the timing alone. These guys, I don't think have had an important day happen to them in the who knows how long, and all of a sudden we have a celebration and this happens.
Actually, we haven't been formally introduced. I'm Melville, New Jerusalem's only decent engineer. Saved you from the elevator.
Here we go. Hold on to your hats.
We really need to update those language libraries.
It's not just about what we find on that island. It's about who we want to be. As a people, as a civilization. To remind ourselves that we used to be wanderers, explorers. We used to yearn for distant shores and dream of building new cities. Let's see if we can rekindle that flame a little.
It should be coming into view just about... Whoa. It's big.
You can say that again.
That is a bloody megastructure.
What
If
the
I had a
hell?
spine, it'd be shivering.
Who built this? I mean, it does look like aliens, right? But I don't know. This is very similar to the statue of the robot holding the cat. Seems to imply this was built by our people. But the general public doesn't know about it. And even this team doesn't know about it. Who does know about this? I wonder if the founder is setting a new test for this new generation.
This seems different from the other structures. Older.
Have a look around, 1K.
Looks like they were running some sort of experiment here.
Got it.
Thanks, 1K. You know what? I'll hack together a solution for the transport system.
Golden gates. I wonder what's behind those. Has to be something special, right?
Something important.
You know what
It's
would
on
be
my
special?
compass.
An explanation.
We got power.
I'm connecting the transport system to our interface. Hold on.
Sure. This game is insane compared to what the scope of the first one was.
This place is magnificent. Look at that tower. I wonder what it's for. Is that a puzzle?
Why would there be a puzzle?
Let's solve it and find out. 1K, go ahead.
I have a reoccurring nightmare just like this.
This is the table. This device was not in the simulation, correct? Somebody who knows about the simulation has been building on the ideas of the simulation.
Whoa, I'm reading an enormous energy spike.
It's another particle cloud.
Maybe it's an experiment. A rat maze.
It seems like an echo of the simulation. Not a deliberate recreation, but built around the same core principles.
Private message. This bitch. We met in New Jerusalem, if you remember. Yeah, I scared the bejesus out of me. You want my data? I don't think I trust this character, and I'd be very wary of consenting to anything with them. And they're being super weird about this. So, but you know, I'm just so curious. Boy, this is Milton incarnate, isn't it? Boy, after every single puzzle, there's like something. I kind of miss being alone with my thoughts and the puzzles a little bit. The life of Trevor. Not one building or street in New Jerusalem is named after him. I dug up his files from the archive and I've been thinking about them a lot.
So I heard that Alexandra is recording these time capsules for you out there, I guess? Robot people of the future, hi.
Check out the terminals. Maybe there's something that'll help us understand who built this place.
Okay,
They have to have left
obviously.
something
Thank you,
behind.
Captain Obvious. I did not think this would be a game where anybody held my hand for a moment. It's funny how you can take something that's 90% true and 10% false and create something that's 100% misleading. Who is this? What is this? What the frick? Oh. Lifthrasir is perhaps the most mysterious of the first companions. A wanderer and mystic by nature, he would venture far from New Jerusalem on his own, recording his thoughts as he explored harsh and distant lands. These recordings garnered him a group of devoted followers to whom he tried to impart his wisdom, 5358. In the troubled time following the founder's disappearance, Lifthrasir and his disciples set out on a journey to reach the opposite end of the world by foot. They've not been heard from since. I love how diverse this group of robots is.
1K solved all the puzzles in this area, but nothing happened. There was a brief blip in the system, though. Maybe it'll do something later. There has to be some sort of point.
No, it's just the pleasure of doing them. What the hell was that? The all-gifted.
When the first man picked up the first stone, he did not do so to forge a tool. He did so to smite his brother.
Not all things must be balanced. When good is weighed against evil, tip the scale.
In the beginning, the gods shaped humankind out of the clay of the earth and gave them life with their own breath. But who is closer to perfection, the creator or the created?
What the hell are you talking about? Perfection is impossible and arbitrary.
When Prometheus saw that humankind was more alike in nature to the gods than to the animals, he stole the secret of fire from Olympus and shared it with the mortals. Was his theft justified?
This is not a yes or a no.
If Zeus did not own fire, why should humankind? He gave her a box, and when she opened it, from inside escaped sorrow and suffering. All that remained within was hope. What does this mean?
I don't know, I think this sounds kind of interesting.
Those without hope say so to comfort themselves. Creature of clay, You stand before the fire. Will it make you whole, or will it destroy you? Consider the shadows cast by the flame, but do not mistake them for truth.
Guys, look at my stream. The beam 1K activated is connecting to the pyramid.
That
Nice.
looks like a massive amount of power.
We gotta do 2 more of those.
But while you're there, remember that I'm still trying to fix the rest of the transport system. Maybe there's another one of those labs that 1K found.
Ah. You've shown compassion for your fellow humans and open-mindedness to the point that your brains might fall out. Your support mean a great deal to my esoteric friends. Alright, fine. Get involved behind the scenes.
If we could speak to the stag, what wisdom would it have to offer? The answer is none. The stag is an animal of overwhelming stupidity, driven only by fear, hunger, and lust.
I was thinking that might be going in that direction based on what he said before. Maybe the floor up there? Not good at this. I think I got it. Yes! Nice. Killed 31 of my fellow citizens. Eustathius never forgave himself for this mistake. I'm dreaming.
The world is a wonderful place. Every day we take another step forward.
Miranda.
Every day we come closer to the truth. Every part of me serves a purpose, or I could not be myself. I could not be Miranda because that specific person could not exist without those specific parts and their specific functions. In the same way, every part of the universe serves a purpose. I think that is what we were meant to discover here.
Who the hell is Miranda?
There's no one by that name in New Jerusalem. I just searched the database.
Someone born outside the city. We have to find out more.
But where did they come from? And how many people does it take to build something this huge?
Thanks for the files, 1K. I hope they didn't fry your brain.
They did a little bit, but I'm fine. Oh my god, these look so obvious. How did I miss every single one of them? That noise. It's so cheesy. I love it. Solve loop without doing multiple circles. Huh.
They really don't do anything interesting. I mean, you don't see animals directing Big Trouble in Little China. Birds can go tweet, tweet, but it ain't exactly the White Album. I mean, they can't even make a good cheeseburger, for Christ's sakes. They have no art, no cuisine.
After 1K found those labs, I started thinking, where did all the tech come from? So I had a look at the serial numbers, and it turns out the answer is New Alexandria.
They made it.
Oh.
Oh my god. Alright, starting with number 1. New area means new puzzle features. Right. The opposite. The inverter.
I think about New Alexandria all the time. But realizing this place was built on its bones just brings it all back even more. We were so optimistic when we started. So full of ourselves. We thought we could accomplish anything. And then, in one single moment, it was all gone. Sorry. Just some old scars.
When we go to New Jerusalem, I'm going to have a cat. He's going to be black and white, and his name is going to be Bean. And I'm going to make sure that he never gets sick, and he never gets old, and he'll be my best friend forever.
Oh, honey. So I'm cat-sitting Yakut's cat, Bruce. Yakut didn't tell me he had a cat. Well, I've kind of been avoiding talking to these guys. Starting to get slightly convoluted, finally? We haven't quite gotten there. There's been, you know, some logical stuff that's tripped me up, but nothing's been, like, really extra convoluted yet. This doesn't make any damn sense. Just hit this with a blue beam. Easy, right? I've spent days thinking about it, but now I'm running out of time. So I'll set down the one thought that I simply can't shake. It didn't have to be this way. Miranda says it doesn't have to be this way, and yet it was. I don't know why, but that hits really hard. Then the little shadow spoke. That had been a man. I am the last, he said. No one had ever made Karen smile before. No one had ever made him weep. Miranda, there's an obvious and perhaps intended interpretation that this is the end of humanity and the last shadow is the last human to live. But another interpretation is equally possible, that humanity has achieved immortality and the last shadow is the last human to die. I prefer the latter. I like that she can even come up with that interpretation. But what you're saying makes sense. By limiting our growth, we accept that one day our story will be over. But is that so bad if it was a good story? We should rage against death, not accept it. In the context of this game, what did we learn from Alexander Drennan, if not to rage against death for the greater context of humanity, but for our individual selves to accept it? So I don't know which one of these to choose. But it is interesting to think, you know, death and destruction is inevitable for the entire universe. Yeah, but we don't have to accept that it's close enough for us to have to think about that way. We should still live and aspire to live. I think that makes sense in the context of what has happened in these games. That noise always scares the shit out of me.
To escape their plight, he fashioned wings of feathers and wax. He warned his son to fly neither too high nor too low. But his son, enraptured by the freedom of flight, flew too close to the sun. Thus the wax in his wings melted, and he fell to his death. What was the sun's error?
Pride? This is a pretty common story to teach kids about pride, right?
Daedalus withdrew in sorrow to a foreign land. King Minos came looking for the craftsman to exact his revenge. The answer to a riddle revealed where Daedalus dwelled. But for Minos, that answer was his ruin. Consider King Minos, burned in his bath, as you seek your own answer.
The megastructure, it's opening.
Oh,
Three receivers.
I forgot that I got the other two.
As we suspected. I think this is an invitation.
Should we go there next?
Doesn't look that inviting.
We
to
might not
me.
have a choice.
Yakut, take us in.
Aye, aye, sir.
The resources, the sheer physical resources to build
Setting
this.
down.
To put it simply, each of us owes a burden of loyalty to humanity itself, to the human project across time and space. This is not a minor matter or some abstract issue for philosophers. It is a profound and significant part of every human life. It's kind of the heart of this whole game, so far anyway.
If we figure out what it all means, we could really change the future of New Jerusalem. The mayor says we have to avoid repeating the mistakes our ancestors made, to stay humble, to not reach too far. And that sounds very abstract, but I've seen the ancient cities. I've seen how much they built, how much they grew, how far they fell. What if this is too much power for anyone to control?
You know, our job is to explore what the hell is going on. Somebody reached out to us. I think you forget that this is going to be a problem whether we do something about it or not. This isn't just gonna go away. This is here whether we want it to be or not. And you can't just close your eyes to it, so we need to understand it. The scale of this is overwhelming. Wow. Whew. You know, when I learned that they were making a second game like this, I don't think I ever would have imagined the scale of what they've created here.
Mother? What are you thinking about, Mother?
The Talos Principle. You see, it has two applications. One is to the self. It means facing the truth even if it frightens us. Understanding that living beings are machines and we can't afford to lie to ourselves. But that's just the beginning. Without us, there can be no meaning. Without someone to perceive it, the beauty of the universe is pointless. But that shouldn't make us arrogant. No, in fact, it means we carry a tremendous responsibility. We are the light of the cosmos. And if we go out, there will be nothing but a cold, dark machine.
Athena?
The founder was here?
She could still be here. What if this...
This is blinking.
This is why she left, to build all this.
I'm reading some pretty big energy spikes. I think we better scramble.
You know, I had some feeling, I don't think I vocalized it, but that Miranda was somehow a progeny of Athena. And she took the voice of Alexandra Drennan, which makes a lot of sense. Athena went away, possibly to hide Miranda from the rest of them. But why? There are still so many questions. Okay, that was a lot. I can't help but wonder, if Miranda is her daughter, was Athena trying to start a new civilization? Did she abandon New Jerusalem? Maybe. I like this much better than the timing business. Oh my god.
Okay. I've been watching you solve these puzzles.
Why?
And if we can figure out how this works, we can finally, easily create more people. We can grow. We can expand. We can build a real civilization.
It may come down to the question of what do we think? Should we let there be more robots? Or should we stop at 1,000? For me, it's the obvious choice is to say no, we shouldn't stop at 1,000. That's so arbitrary and dumb. It's our cosmic duty to spread consciousness. I don't think I believe that. The basic values of what I believe in align more with this, but it's not worded in a way that I agree with it at all. So this has happened to me like several times playing this game already.
Without people to populate the universe, what's the point?
That's so interesting. The almost like, you know, religious implications for these people. You bastards.
If we think that other species are worth preserving, and we recognize that most of the universe is barren, then it follows that we have a duty not only to defend life, but to spread it.
That harks back to what I said to Melville earlier. We've seen 5358 before. Helga, is this my person? 1K. My name is Helga. Doge, our friend in common, thinks it might be fun for us to chat. Okay, I do not trust this person for a moment. So I don't know if they're fucking with me or if they're serious. I literally have no idea. Also, I should probably talk to these guys. I've been avoiding them. Yeah, I've just been kind of like, I don't feel like talking to NPCs. I'm sure they have interesting stuff to say.
But they left behind so much art and philosophy and religion, and so many strange stories. Is New Jerusalem like that?
It was, in the beginning.
Oh. Why do you believe there should be more people? Yeah, sure.
I think every single human being is completely unique, and every instance of consciousness is a miracle. The more of us there are, the more alive the universe is. What's the point of stars and galaxies, of hills and forests, without someone to perceive them? But
that's what Miranda was saying.
My faith that we can actually grow up, that we can break out of these loops and take control of our destiny, that's something I struggle with every single day.
I don't agree with them, though. There doesn't have to be a point, and it doesn't have to revolve around us perceiving everything. If technology isn't the problem, why did our ancestors destroy themselves?
Because they refused to grow up. They refused to take control of their lives. They let bureaucrats and financiers determine their destiny, and those people could not think beyond themselves, beyond the tiny, insignificant moment they were trapped in.
What do you think about Miranda?
She's so innocent and full of wonder, it should make me want to retch, metaphorically speaking. But I'll admit, she's sort of charming.
Everyone has to make a choice.
Make yours wisely, then. As you continue your journey to the flame.
Tell me about New Alexandria, if you don't mind. You know.
For some reason, we'd convinced ourselves that New Jerusalem wasn't enough.
For some reason.
That we needed another city. All it takes is a little bit of arrogance and a little bit of ignorance, and people die.
Utopia is impossible, but the future that is possible will seem like a dream to those who are alive now.
We're starting to focus again on what is possible in terms of making society good. Why did we try to build New Alexandria if we already had New Jerusalem?
Is it possible that on some level, people want to believe that everything's going to get worse? That it's comforting to think that humanity is bad and every solution will just go wrong? Because that way you're never responsible. You never have to take on responsibility for anything outside yourself. Never have to grow up.
This is where they must have lived. Athena and Miranda. You know, for a moment, I almost expected to find them here. Our civilization is caught in a loop, 1K. We freed ourselves from the simulation, but now we're trapped again, and it's our own fault. We're afraid of taking responsibility, afraid of growing up. We're afraid to face the randomness of the cosmos, but equally afraid to imagine a better world. I've been trying to find a way out for years.
He sounds bitter.
Anything to get people to understand that we do actually have free will, that building a thriving, expanding civilization doesn't have to involve repeating the mistakes of the past. But I failed. Over and over.
Why did you fail?
Because for some reason, people find it easier to cling to cynicism and self-hate than to actually have hope. Because believing the worst about ourselves, calling ourselves sinners and fools, somehow still seems wise.
I think it's a somnodrome. It's a sort of analytics tool for processing mental data that Melampus streamed up. The somnodrome would interpret that data and loop it directly to our senses.
People were hoping to find answers to the big questions by having a conversation with our own subconscious.
We should try it.
I would advise against it.
No, I
You may
really
have
want to
survived
try
all
it.
those data stream overloads, but interface with that thing and you're liable to get bricked.
From Miranda. I went ahead and ran the next set of trials anyway. I know you said to wait, but the data we got from the last batch was just too amazing. We're so close. Miranda's flying a little close to the sun, huh? We don't know what
But
happened
Athena
to Emo.
understood. She believed in humanity. She believed in us. She wanted us to reclaim the Earth, to reach for the stars.
You know, the more and more we go through things, I am starting to think this. Because I don't understand why she left, it doesn't make any fucking sense. And it starts feeling like she made the wrong choice. New Jerusalem was already changing, but she just left it to change even more. So I've been playing a ton of this old Gehenna game called Ancient Human Farmer. And I'm having some sort of emotional response to it that I can't exactly explain. Like, it makes me happy, but also sad. These games are enjoyable because they take us back to a time when we still had agency. When we could build things, grow things. When we could impose our will on the world instead of being completely powerless and inactive. What you crave is the ability to contribute to humanity in real material ways, and you're sad because just simulating it is not enough. You don't want to farm, you want to be a pioneer, as we humans were born to be. Can I agree with Ovis and Damien? Like, I totally get what they're both saying. Shut up.
You have taken another step towards the flame.
What are you gonna do about it? Why does this show up in the randomest places? How little.
You see, there may be a price for pursuing progress, but there's also a price for not pursuing it.
All right, here we go again.
Why don't you just tell people that they're wrong? If you tell them the truth, they'll listen.
It's not that simple. Straton wrote that the most common error we commit is to think that ideas determine reality, when in fact the opposite is true.
We're just trapped? History can only go one way?
Maybe, maybe not. The question is, how do we free ourselves? How do we build a world where our ideas do shape reality? That's why we came here.
We need to go talk to Cornelius, man. He knew more about this.
I knew it! Athena's here. She built this.
That other voice, was that Cornelius?
And all this time, he knew where she was?
Well, people said when he came back, he was changed. This could be a tragedy, guys.
The gate's opening. I'm heading in.
No, no, wait for me. Oh. Should have seen this coming.
They were both here, Athena and Cornelius. They had a plan. I found a file that... I can't.
Byron's trapped in the overload. He's failing to disconnect.
The whole system's going haywire.
Oh no,
Okay,
oh my
get out of
god,
there.
no.
Everyone back to the VTOL. We're going back to New Jerusalem. This situation has gotten out of control. We need to regroup.
1K, please head over to the Museum of the Simulation and talk to Cornelius.
Yes.
Let's see what he has to say for himself.
I'm so glad they're letting me do the thing I really want to do.
Punished for
Imagine, like,
trials.
Reddit,
You want us to dig
but you can't turn it off whenever you want. That's what this city is.
Here, let me top up your credit balance for you. It's the least I can do. Ka-ching! 1,000 credits. You're rich. Whoa. Inner peace doesn't come cheap. Come back when you've got 1,000
You
credits.
just gave me 1,000 credits.
Gosh, I completely forgot. Well, did being rich bring you inner peace?
That's great.
You're welcome. That'll be 1,000 credits, please.
Yesterday, there was a sudden brownout in the grid, and we almost had a derailment. We've been warning the mayor for months, and all he ever gives us is waffle about the goal. This can't go on.
You said you were looking for Cornelius?
Let me guess, we're not gonna find him.
He seems to have vanished. He was always at his terminal, working day and night. I asked him what he was doing once, and he said he was saving the past.
Yes. Well, I really, really hope that people talk about these on social media and we can hear their critiques. Because I loved in Gehenna how they would like critique each other's stuff. Motherfucker. Where did that fucking cat even come from?
Have you not read the books of our ancestors?
I've been
In
reading a
every
lot.
one of them, the same story is told.
I don't have time to sit down and just read a book, though.
And again, that the pursuit of knowledge can only lead to death and grief.
We've been talking about that, haven't we?
That is what all the great ancient visionaries foresaw.
That can easily become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So much of what's happening is like self-fulfilling prophecy. When you can no longer imagine a better future, you cannot build one.
The very idea of a better future is what's rotten.
See,
That is what the ancients were trying to tell us. All we can do is prevent our hubris from making things worse.
Melville, are you receiving?
Yep. Welcome back to the mysterious island, everyone.
Wow. Oh my gosh. What does it mean? I do not care about social issues or debate. I do not want to get involved. I just want to be able to keep working on making things better. You can't not care about these things. Guess what? You do care. I have news for you.
If I tweak the modulator a little. I'm so excited.
Nice to meet you. So excited. I'm Cornelius.
What? Oh, Dad.
Oh, Cornelius. Perfect dad moment.
The fundamental language of reality is a kind of music, and it's beautiful. Beauty is an inherent property of the cosmos.
I love the way she looks at things.
I love the way these guys are written. As reluctant as I was to talk to them in the beginning of this game, I'm appreciating more and more that they are written so well. And yes, they are absolutely like people. This is like saying, do you believe your trauma shaped you as a person? You're kidding. It's right there. What's that thing floating?
Come on, out with it. What's the problem?
I know you're very busy, but you need to pay more attention to what's happening. I'm really worried, Athena.
Okay. I promise I'll look into it as soon as I'm done with this.
Wow. How dismissive did that sound? Suddenly an echoing voice speaks to you. Emergency shutdown settings, access denied in its tones. Error 5358. No, you must not do this, Pandora commands you. I have stopped you for a reason. If you complete your quest and ascend Olympus, everything will burn. Everyone you love will burn. The earth will burn. The sky will burn. The seas will burn. Access denied.
You must yearn for a better world. Yearn for it with such intensity that your heart suffers. Keep your eyes on that distant vision even when you know that you may never reach it.
But her desire to spread life seems admirable to me. If most of the universe is dead, not doing anything with all that space seems like a waste.
I just flat out disagree with some of you who say that everything it revolves around us, basically. Without consciousness, what does anything matter? And they're like, what does it have to matter? Sorry to be a grump, but what's going on with our battery tech? I had my battery replaced just a couple years ago, and it's already constantly in need of recharging. I can't spend half my life in sleep mode. Is this really what we're coming to? You should learn to live with less. Sleep mode is a great time to meditate and think about our place in the universe. Do you really need to be active all the time? It's what Trevor said in that audio file 1K found. Great art isn't always appreciated in its own time. Yes, Trevor was right about something. That happened. I love this. The book of annotated internet comments.
I used to think so too. No. All is lost.
To really transform the landscape, show the possibilities.
It just worries me that she lacks context. Her imagination is incredible, but it's still limited by what she hasn't experienced.
Would it have been better if she'd been raised in New Jerusalem? If her mind was limited by self-hate and decay? If all she could imagine was sitting around ignoring the universe in favor of self-righteous solipsism?
No, but I don't know.
So it sounds like Athena left because she just couldn't stand New Jerusalem anymore. This is not good. Not good. Oh no.
It's over. We failed. Everything we thought we were doing. It's all ashes now.
I don't think you really believe that.
She's gone, Cornelius. She's gone because I failed her. She's gone because the machine that I built killed her. She was perfect. And now, she's nothing.
We should have stayed. Fought for our ideas.
It's too late now. It's too late.
They lost their daughter. Right here in this ruin, Cornelius and Athena lost their daughter. Miranda's dead. So even the Founder doesn't have perfect control over this technology. Even the Founder makes mistakes.
Mistakes will happen no matter what. You've already had mistakes.
One mistake is enough. One mistake was enough to kill Miranda. And the energy readings from inside the megastructure are insane. What if we try to use it and blow a hole in the planet?
It could be too much for us, but I don't think that means we should not do anything with it or try to understand it. We do things carefully.
Don't you think the Founder took precautions?
What's the alternative, Yakut?
We just don't do it. We leave well enough alone. We rescue Byron, we shut this place down, and we go back to our lives.
Byron would not be having
Let this place become a tomb for Miranda. Miranda probably died a long time ago, but somehow this really shook me. She had such a hopeful way of looking at the world, and to think that that's gone is, I don't know.
The elevator should be working now. And Yakut, I'm sorry about Miranda. I know you're looking forward to meeting her.
Look at what happened to Miranda, the Founder's own daughter. The megastructure is going to kill us all. Get a grip. This is absurd and also disrespectful to Miranda and her parents, who are probably still keyed into this social media, you assholes. At least Cornelius probably is.
From examining the data, I think it simply came down to not taking enough precautions. If you're looking for something more philosophical, I think it's easy to mistake insight for revelation. She thought she was meant to discover something, as if there was some force guiding her, and so she discounted the outcomes that didn't match her expectations.
I love Melville's insights. I don't think Melville gives themselves enough credit for stuff like that.
It's almost like something tried to delete it as you were downloading it. Pandora, maybe.
Pandora, who I'm beginning to suspect is a representation of Athena. Somebody who is kind of old and bitter and scared.
When you sit in the dunes and you hear only the wind and nothing else at all, and all the complexities of civilization fade away, you truly understand that spiritual peace is a great evil, a kind of shallow banality that we must always strive against.
Is he insane? Like, I guess I get what he's saying, or maybe I don't. Maybe I really don't understand it. Every breath that I take, and so every story that I write, is only possible because of technology. When you long for a return to simpler times, you wish for a world in which I could not exist. What is the state? What is the civilization, if not a machine? Whatever your belief system, think hard about what it means that I am alive because of these machines, and I have created something that matters to you. That is incredibly powerful. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this. Holy shit. I was expecting this to be after the next set of, you know, after we do the East puzzles. Wow. I can like feel the weight, the weight of it.
I thank you, Son of Man, for breaking my chains. I will send you visions of the truth. But remember that prophecies are a heavy burden.
New Jerusalem sounds like such a beautiful place. So, how did you decide to leave?
It took me a long time to realize that something was wrong. And then one day I woke up to realize I was no longer Athena. Instead, I had been transformed into the Founder, a remote figure of legend mythologized in my own time.
But can you change that?
I tried, but they already saw me as the Founder.
We can show them the future, Miranda, but we can't force them to accept it.
The future? What does he mean by that?
After all this time, I have it. I finally have it. The mechanics of the cosmos in a single equation. A theory of everything. And she was right. The language of creation is a melody, and it's beautiful. Every future is possible now. Every future, except one with Miranda in it. I can do anything, except bring her back.
That was not really a revelation. All of that makes complete sense. It's just Prometheus is freed, so where is Byron? And yeah, did that help at all?
What's the point of all of this? Does she want us to prove her worthy of the theory of everything? Or to learn from her mistakes and reject it?
The point is
Finally, it all makes sense. It's not just one new technology. It's control over physics. Rearranging the building blocks of the universe.
I love how she says that makes sense.
If we can gain control of the megastructure, we can do anything we want. It's all up to us.
Unless we fail.
Meanwhile, there's been a development.
It for myself. It is dreadfully imposing, though, isn't it? Hard to believe
Herman
the
is
founder
here.
would build something so sinister.
The mayor's here?
These visions sent to you by the entity that calls itself Prometheus are deeply concerning, of course. But we cannot take them at face value. In fact, it's crucial that we do not do so.
I'm not sure Athena really exists anymore. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the theory of everything?
I want to see what's inside the box.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
It's a complex issue, and I think it should be left to experts.
Do you think New Jerusalem betrayed Athena?
New Jerusalem isn't monolithic. But when it concerned Athena, wasn't it sort of?
It's not. You're right. And Byron and a handful of others stood up for Athena. But what did I do? Just kept working. The occasional sarcastic remark isn't resistance. It's not fighting for something. It's just thinly disguised apathy.
If you believe that you were wrong, make different choices now.
I will. But it's hard not to regret the past.
All these messages from all these people just speak to how mythologized she is. You know, they basically are praying at her. Athena always wanted to just be a person. Beloved founder, know that I do not believe any of the lies the expedition is spreading about you. Oh my gosh, these are coming in real time. I've been thinking about that one conversation on social media where somebody was like, my batteries are not working so great, and then Thekla comes in and is like, oh, you should learn to live with less. Yeah, just have less life. It's fine. And it's like, oh man.
But I'm working with hardware that was deliberately designed to fail. Planned obsolescence, baby. That's the part that Alexandra doesn't see. The greed, the stupidity, the selfishness, the way that we created this whole situation in the first place. She wants you to be like us, but if you ask me, there's a whole lot of human history and behavior you can just throw away. You have a chance at a fresh start. Make the best of it.
Yeah, the question is really becoming less about what happened in the past and more about what's going to happen next. Holy shit. Kind of dumbfounded by this area.
Actually, let me issue a correction, okay? I said Alexandra doesn't see the bad stuff about humanity, but she does. She sees it, and somehow she sees past it. To see all the bad stuff out there and still have hope, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I think that's why yeah, you know what? Let's not go there. There's still so much work.
Can I touch the bridge device?
You can, but should you?
Okay.
Tell him, Melville. I always told myself all those public debates were boring. Who wants to get involved in city affairs? And lately I've been thinking, yeah, that's why there's so much stuff I'm unhappy about, because we all collectively gave up trying. Oh, shit.
1K. Good that you're here. We've made a discovery. A functional somnodrome. So, what should we do with it?
I am going to plug in and find out for myself. Speed low. Yo. Miltohim. -1. Look at those shades.
I am in fact a merged iteration of the two control programs which gave life to your kind.
Milton and Elohim in one body. Oh man. I don't know what to ask. What question would you ask if you were me?
I am you. So I would probably ask that one. But that's only going to land us in an infinite regression. So I'd better pick something else. There is a foundational moral code built into us. Here's the secret. Every living creature is a compiler of the moral code. Your compiler can't give you a rule set for what's good, but it can tell you when there's bugs.
What?
Your capacity for reason and compassion is your moral compiler. The only rule is to live by it.
Where does this moral code of yours derive its authority?
You already know the answer to that.
Do I?
You want to live in a world that's compassionate. Being compassionate is the fastest way to get there. good luck getting anyone out there to believe you. Terminating Somnodrome_V2_final_final.bat.
What did Athena get out of this?
That data packet in your head just made you the most powerful person in all New Jerusalem. By accident.
The people want to know what data you gathered from the Somnodrome. We're all set up for you to talk to them live. That's fine. Please let me know when you're ready. This is an important story.
Get away from me. I don't begrudge him his job. I'm not sure I trust him. Maybe we'll go ahead and get to the tower and give our press conference. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about this thing to the public. Can I put off talking to Crier for like a long time? No, this one is just high plane. They decided to go really hard for this area for some reason. Okay. I kind of want to like have a meeting with my squad before deciding how to address everyone in our known civilization. You know, that's why I want Byron back too. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, okay, this goes pretty hard too.
There's a design for a launch pad for space vehicles. This is about 90% identical.
Is it functional?
I don't think so, not if the inside is like the other towers.
Guys, let's go to space!
Obviously, Athena has unlocked tremendous powers, but forgive me if I'm skeptical that her theory really encompasses everything.
That's fair. But what if it does? I mean...
Then I don't think it's something we need to know. We're not going to find happiness or meaning in some equation, 1K. Don't overthink it. Just do what feels right.
Trust my moral compiler.
Athena and Cornelius called what they were doing the Noema Project. But in 1K's vision, they just called it the Machine. Because when you strip away all the fancy rhetoric, that's all it is. It's not a source of meaning or purpose. It's just another machine.
It can be both. Sources of meaning are usually also other things literally too. That's how it works. Yeah, where is Cornelius? Man, I'm kind of worried about him.
I didn't see it at first, but now it couldn't be more clear to me. The theory of everything is the future. And if we reject it, we're condemning ourselves to a slow death.
Mostly.
I didn't even realize how much I'd limited my own imagination. How I talked myself into just accepting this incredibly poor future we'd been offered. A future where things just keep getting slightly worse every day. And we accept it because we're ashamed of ourselves. Not of something we've done, but just of our existence. Like we're a virus on this planet. Like our humanity is a sin. I'm so tired of it, 1K.
Me too.
I kept my head down. I focused on fixing things. But that's all I ever did. I never improved anything. I never built anything new.
That's okay.
And when I imagine going on like this for thousands of years, that's a fate worse than death. It really is. Either we accept, like you said, that it's our cosmic duty to spread consciousness, and we do it boldly and proudly, or we might as well switch ourselves off.
They keep putting it that way. I don't think of it that way.
I can handle the alternative.
I don't think of it as a duty to spread life, to spread ourselves. It's just, why give up? Why just turn inwards? When I saw the stars like that, I felt such awe that I wished we had the ability to cry. I felt wonder, but I also felt recognition. I was seeing my home. I had so much hope then. I knew one day we would set sail. We would follow the fading light of distant supernovas until at last we met our brothers and sisters of the cosmos. I could feel that day coming. I can't anymore, and I don't know how to live this way. Love is not finite, and it is for infinity that we must strive. I will do so for all of you who may still find love in honor of Sarabai.
These time capsules went a bit sideways, didn't they? Mostly, I just told you about Alex. I wonder if I should just... I should just tell her. You know? Just...
What do you have to lose?
Tell her.
I'm afraid it would simply not be in keeping with our energy expenditure projections to mount such a massive undertaking. Okay, we keep, discovering. Melville keeps saying the energy that we're finding here, if we could harness it, and we probably could, would power anything we could imagine and more. So why are we constraining ourselves to that kind of thinking? Some things are falling apart right now. People their batteries are running out. They're being asked to live with less, to have less life. They have less life, they have less culture, they have less connection. That means that something needs to be done. That means that there should be, if a fix comes along, that we should use it. I mean, everybody who's afraid of the potential of all of this isn't wrong either. This journey to the past reminds me that my freedom as a woman is on some level technological. Yes. Without medical technologies, I am reduced to the cruel nature of logic, which cares about nothing except reproduction. Without machines, I become a machine. But then I abandoned you too, didn't I? After we lost Sarabai, I couldn't see anything except the unbearable permanence of her absence. It took me centuries to start getting involved again. But I did, Athena. I came back, and so can you. That is important. Sometimes it is so important to hear stuff like that from your friends.
You have heard the myths of gods and titans. But as you approach the end of your journey, I will tell you the truth that all men fear. There are no gods, son of man. There are no titans, no heroes to save you, no divine judge to weigh your soul against a feather. There is only you, and the spark of the sublime that is your mind. As for myself, I never brought the flame to humankind as the stories tell. I only showed you where it was within yourselves.
Consciousness itself is the sublime. Do I wanna talk to Crier now? Or we can't? I think I only have 5 undone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's it.
I know I can't stop you from trying to save Byron, but what's in that pyramid could destroy everything I've tried to build.
Okay. Oh my gosh, is that me? I get to see me in a cutscene.
What's happening? Follow me. I have to show you something. Do you see what's happening? It's her. It's all her. Everything we're seeing is Athena. Her every hope, her every fear, all of her memories and contradictions brought to life by the machine.
How do I make this decision? There has to be an answer. It can't just be a leap of faith.
There are no answers, creature of clay. Every question leads to another.
She's not waiting for us to prove ourselves before she helps us. She needs us to help her.
No! I cannot allow this.
Uh-oh.
Welcome back to the land of the living. For a while there, I thought we might have to reset you. A lot has changed. While you were asleep, the idea of the goal cracked and then broke. People decided they wanted change, and so they turned to Byron, who never wavered in his beliefs. He's mayor now.
Speak to Melville and Yakut. They were part of the beginning, they can be part of the end, if they want to.
We don't need a theory of everything to be happy.
It was never just about happiness, Hal.
I'm sorry, but I can't. I just don't believe that things could turn out well. We'd make too many mistakes.
Oh my god.
Take care, 1K.
Of course I will. I think I might want this even more than you do.
I wish Alcatraz and Yakut could come too, but they believe what they believe.
Well, I thought about it, and it turns out it's pretty simple. They're wrong.
I guess Yakut was always a little more like, I mean, he was so
I have
horrified
only one thing to
by
ask of
Miranda's
you,
death.
my child.
It scared him. Oops. No! Oh no. We're taught to treat poetry like a secret message which only some people can decipher. But poetry is really a kind of music. It's not an intellectual pursuit, not something to be analyzed and dissected. It needs to be felt, to be spoken, to be sung. If you find the melody in the words, you will understand it. I freaking love that. I think that it could be both. I think that if you want to take it apart and find meaning, that's maybe your way of going along with the melody.
It's time to save Athena and reclaim the future.
I'm also still a little hurt that Yakut didn't want to join us. No, but... Oh my god. Do we have to choose one?
Nothing is certain. How do I choose?
How do we choose? Do we build and grow? Do we stagnate?
Do not falter now, son of man. Have faith in yourself and the work of generations.
You were in my dream. I don't know what to do. I've thought about it over and over and over, but I still don't have an answer. Alexandra Drennan carried her burden as far as she could. I took it from her thinking I could carry it forever. But no one can. Not alone. So in the end, 1K made the choice I couldn't make. He took a leap of faith.
What a choice.
Come, my friends. 'Tis not too late to seek a newer world. Push off, and sitting well in order, smite the sounding furrows. For my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset and the baths of all the western stars until I die. It may be that the gulfs will wash us down. It may be we shall touch the happy isles and see the great Achilles, whom we knew. Though much is taken, much abides. And though we are not now that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, we are. One equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield.
How? This is kind of what I thought would happen. We would get a chance to see the ending and come back and then do anything that we haven't done, and then we can choose a different ending and see a different ending. I'm gonna have to listen to what Byron said again at the end, that poem. I love the overall message of to strive and not to yield. That was great. I actually still don't know what Cornelius's deal is. I think it might be tied to the gold puzzles though. Oh, the doors are just open. I'm trying not to let these like get in my head to begin with. Oh, these are supposed to be hard. Like, no. Can't think like that. Oh. Yeah, can't reach both. It worked, okay? It worked.
I've been watching you for some time. Sorry to be so mysterious, but I was unsure as to your intentions. If you're willing to keep going, I think I know where this leads, and it could change everything for us.
Well, consider me intrigued.
Cornelius would turn up sooner or later. If you can help him, 1K, please do.
She's 2 out of 3 so far, so
Creating Miranda was an act of defiance in a way. To bring a new life into existence and say, this is good, this is fundamentally good, because human beings are unique and valuable, and every single one of them enriches the universe just by existing. For Athena, Miranda's death was final, and it was the finality of it that was so unbearable. I think that was the first time I really understood what it means that time is a dimension. I could measure the distance between us in minutes, hours, days, years. I could not accept that my daughter was gone. Her body was destroyed, obliterated. But we're more than just a body. We're a pattern, a melody in ones and zeros. And I was convinced that somewhere, somehow, that melody still existed. I just couldn't believe that it didn't. I refused to. What I needed was access to the tools. Studying the archive hasn't answered any of our questions about humanity, but it has taught us something. And that's data recovery. When I saw the first images you sent back, saw the towers and the puzzles, the changes to what you call the megastructure, I realized something had gone wrong.
So he really had no idea how bad it was for her. She almost fell into a sort of like robot psychosis. You know, she's hallucinating, but with the added like, you know, ability to create a bunch of shit from nothing because of math or whatever.
They're not all Athena's memories. Some of them are things Athena was never present for. Those are Miranda's memories, 1K. She's still in there, and we can save her.
We can save her. He wants me to help him save her. Oh, I'm so excited. Yaku is gonna love this.
That's why she picked Pandora. That's why she hid this all away. Because left at the bottom of that box was hope.
It definitely recontextualizes some of the earlier conversations you have with the avatars, with Pandora.
Perhaps for the life of an individual citizen to be good, first the city itself must be good. These insubstantial creatures that walk through my thoughts.
Insubstantial? What?
Perhaps they can live that life. They are, after all, human beings, like myself. This much I have understood. Is that why they have summoned me? Can I somehow bring them into this world?
What is he talking about?
Real? Or am I? No.
This has taken such a weird turn, and I do not understand any of it at all. But that's kind of what I like about it. So here's what I did. Here's what I did.
You did it. It's opening. Come meet me. I have one last task for you.
Perhaps I did not live a good life, but I lived a necessary one. I am gone, but humankind abides, and the flame of Prometheus still burns.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you for coming, 1K. We're almost there, but we'll have to work together to save Miranda.
I've been so lost. I heard my mother's voice, but she couldn't hear mine. I know I made a mistake, but I couldn't apologize. Did my father send you? Father? I'm okay.
Where did the body come from?
I'll never be able to repay what you did for me, my friend. The greatest miracle of our existence, 1K. The miracle that so many of our ancestors couldn't have imagined is that we are capable of love. That love isn't a chemical delusion experienced by mammals, but a fundamental property of sentience. But all of us, even machines, are always reaching for transcendence. And the only place we can find it is in each other. We must choose to believe that our strange, long journey through the cosmos matters. Not to some external force, but to us.
What does she think of the theory of everything?
I'm obviously not going to say that there are no dangers. I'm a case study for how smugness and self-importance can lead to tragedy. But you can do better than that.
New Jerusalem doesn't have anything to say about that. Oh, they do. It's time for me to admit something. For a while now, I've kept up the charade of being opposed to everything Byron stands for and to what Athena evidently stood for all along. I didn't just do this because believing in humanity is hard. I did it because, to be frank, in my circles, taking this position is socially expected. It's mandated. But Miranda's resurrection has changed something inside me.
My theory accounts for everything. When I compare my calculations to the available data, there's one point which consistently doesn't match up. Billions of light years away in the void, there's an anomaly. It's been there since before the beginning of time, and
what?
I think it's waiting for us.
Is this your DLC lead-in of things to come?
You were in my dream.
Oh my god.
I was stuck in my loop for so long that I forgot how much Cornelius loved me. I forgot that to save our family, he would move heaven and earth. And with 1K's help, that's what he did. And when I saw them again, for the first time in so many years, I didn't care about the machine or the theory of everything.
Okay.
All that matters in the end,
I get that,
is love.
You have made a choice that is not a choice. You ended your story without an ending. Many will call you a fool, but I call you wise, creature of clay. So let the future bring what it may, and trust that you will find understanding in time.
What I do know is that it can't be one person's choice. If we want to build a better future, we'll have to build it together. You did what you had to, 1K. They'll figure out the rest for themselves. After all, we're human. We always find a way.
I really liked that, weirdly. the flow of it, it felt right. Now the what happened maybe wasn't the best, but like it was paced really well and it was still really beautiful.
The flame has blinded you. You can still save yourself. Extinguish it, creature of clay.
You were in my dream.
It's not the choice I would have made. But the truth is, in that moment I didn't care. I have lived for more than 1,000 years, and in all that time, the only constant I have ever found is love. Love is why we are more than machines. Love is why the universe is more than clockwork. And on that day, thanks to 1K, love won a victory over death.
I understand that you were upset. I'm not exactly pleased myself. But 1K made an ethical choice. He did what he felt was necessary, and we can't begrudge him that.
Hiya, Kate.
Hi. Hi. I wanted to ask you,
Yes?
I wanted to ask
Crying,
you
oh my god.
out, like, on a date.
A date. I'm in. Let's go.
Really? Now?
Why? Are you busy?
No?
Just let it be, Pellegrino. I'll fix it. No, it's okay. You've helped enough.
Do you think it's over?
It's never over, but it's up to them now. This is our home, and I'm not going anywhere.
That was like so incredibly hopeful. Like that was a really satisfying ending in a lot of ways. So how does that compare to the second ending though? I mean, I really loved that one too. What could have been? That's what he's thinking. See, that's sad to me. That's so sad.
What do you think?
Same thing I always thought. We can do anything, as long as we're together.
That does not necessarily look better. It looks grim. Well, that was a lot to think about. I am absolutely delighted for Yakut. You know, it's funny, we don't see Alcatraz in any of these endings. He doesn't show up. I think that's kind of... I mean, he's a member of our party for, like, the entire game. I liked Alcatraz as a character. I mean, he's just supposed to be a foil for Byron, but, you know, he held his own, I think. I love this game. I have had such a great time playing it, and it does bother me a little bit that, you know, I really thought the main idea here was going to be talking about civilization and societies, and individuals within societies. You know, that's where we really seem to be going in the first part of the game. And then it slowly pivoted into, oh no, we have this great power and we have to choose how to use it. They really don't want to step into certain issues. They never once said the words like capitalism or socialism or communism. They might have said the word anarchy somewhere in there, but like when we're talking about building society, why don't we talk about building society? Why don't we use the language of what societies can be? I'll have to think about it and read about it, listen to the interviews. I feel like there's no reason to not feel hopeful after the Destroy ending. Why should I feel hopeless with that ending? I feel like we continue on. We make new goals and we strive for them. We don't stagnate and die just because we suddenly don't have the meaning of life in a mathematical equation. We can still do things like space travel and all sorts of things. I don't understand the binary there that they created. I don't get it. Oh, Byron, I'm so sorry that I failed you.